Yeah, first of all, I just want to say how awesome the atmosphere was today. I thought our students were incredible. Right when we first came out, whole whiteout where the students sit. Um, I looked around the crowd right before kickoff just to take it all in. I mean, what an incredible environment. Saw a couple empty seats. About 2 minutes later, I looked back. Man, it was full. Everything was full, and really proud of our home environment. Really proud of playing here at Nippert. And so I just want to make sure you say that the first of all, off the top. So I'm proud of our team. Came out and got a really good win. I think, obviously give a lot of credit to Bowling Green. I think they do a really good job. Those kids in that program always think they belong. They're not intimidated coming into an environment. That we talked about that because of the team that they had last year. And then Coach George and his staff has done a really good job with this team. There was times I thought we looked great today. We were dominant, and then other times, we let them back in the game. They did a really good job of controlling the clock, keeping the ball away from us, dinking and dunking, and the third downs and fourth downs, and just continuing their drive. I did think our offense did a great job of answering the call at times throughout this game, going down and getting scores and keeping it, within that three-possession lead. Big questions about us throwing the football. I thought we came out today and threw the ball well. I thought Sorsby threw the ball accurately, made some big-time throws, and our guys made some great catches and great run after the catch. Golday had another amazing game. He was all over the field today. I think, 14 tackles, had another sack. So really proud of the way he played in particular. Logan Wilson did not play today, so we were out him. So, proud of the guys that stepped up in his place as well. Dante came out of the game. I think Dante will be fine. You're going to reevaluate him. I think he'll be fine. But, again, most of the game he didn't play in the second half, much of it. So you're without Logan, without Dante, two of your captains. And but I was proud of the guys, the way they continue to play and make plays for us down the stretch. Special teams was solid. Fletch had a great game punting. Only punted twice today and averaged 56 yards. So that's flipping the field. That's winning the field position battle. So I was proud of the way the teams played as well, special teams. So, we're all just, hey, this day and age in college football, man, it's great to get a win. So we're excited about it.
The run game, was it just didn't click early and kind of went away from it, or were you really trying to get the passing game on track today?
We're just trying to move the football. If it's run or pass. I mean, quite honestly, last week, our pass wasn't great, so we ran it. Today, the pass was really good, and we threw it. And I think they got some good DBs. Coming into this game, I thought they were very impressive. Number two, the nickel that covers over the slot, long, can run. I thought he did a really good job, and their corners were good. So yeah, I think obviously we want to be able to do both. We want to be able to run the football. We want to be able to throw it. I thought we got the running game going there in the second half. Then we fumble. We had a couple of good runs back to back, and then we cough it up and, let them right back in the game. So, that's certainly a negative. Did not win the turnover margin again today with the fumble. We did not create any. So, but yeah, I mean, I thought they did a good job defensively. I mean, I really do. I think their linebackers 3 and 4 are really good players. They did a good job of shooting the gaps and really hurt our running game, and then we were able to throw it. So we lean more on that.
Do you think between now and Kansas you could settle on one, or are you comfortable going back and forth?
What, as far as offense goes?
Running backs. Oh,
running backs. You're pretty intent on these running back questions, aren't you? Whoever's going to make our plays, that's who we'll play. I mean, I keep saying that. I mean, if somebody stands out and they're like head and shoulders above the other one, that we'd play that guy more. But I don't think there's anybody head and shoulders. I think they in the running back room, they have different strengths that they bring to the table, and so we're certainly going to be able to have to play all of them.
Was Dante's injury one where if it was maybe a conference game he would have stayed in? Was this really precautionary?
I don't know. I mean, Aaron talked to me about it a little bit. It's hard to say. I don't think it's anything major, but I do think it's something. So. Whether or not you want to have out there, have Dante out there with potentially getting it worse. Is it worth that? To your point, if it's a big time game and we have everything's on the line, does he play? It's hard to answer that hypothetical, but I think today, obviously more on the precautionary measures. Obviously we're going to need Dante down the stretch.
Big day for Jeff Caldwell today, 5 catches, 109 yards. What was your vantage point of that one-handed catch he had down the sideline where he kind of dominated that drive that led to the score?
Yeah, it was an incredible catch. I thought we threw it too far wide, and looking at it again, it was a great throw because obviously you want to throw away from the defender toward the sideline. It was an RPO play, and Sorsby read one-on-one coverage, and he won off the line. Great throw to the outside, but the ball was fading out of bounds, man. But he's got great length, and stuck that one hand out and caught it. It was clean too. I mean, it didn't bobble at all. Outstanding play to get us down to goal line.
Speaking of the wide receivers there, Cyrus Allen has a big day, 2 touchdown grabs. What did you think of his performance in the wide receivers as a whole?
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking to myself, if we can't throw the ball this week, these guys, I don't know what we're going to do. I mean, they had a great week of practice. I thought Brendan practiced well. The receivers practiced well. They didn't hang their heads because they didn't perform, last week. They worked hard, and it came out, and they made plays. I mean, it was a great throw and catch with Cyrus on the touchdown. On the vertical ball, he gets on top of the defender, and Sorsby, leads him out there, and he went and got it. I thought that was awesome. And then that was a heck of a throw and catch on the goal line with the sprint out. I mean, the guy was undercutting it. Sorsby had to throw it on the line outside, and then, what a great catch Cyrus made on that one. So they've got talent. They've got ability. It's a matter of just going out and proving it, and they were able to do that today. I mean, Goody had a couple of big catches, and runs after the catch, and then Joe Royer obviously had 2 catches and 2 big plays in the game for him.
When you see them moving the ball through the air so well, do you kind of accredit that to Drew Pine being a veteran, talented quarterback, or was that more what you saw from
I think it's got a lot to do with it. I mean, he's seen every defense known to man. He's played a lot of ball in a lot of different places. And you could tell he had poise. He was calm. Nothing rattled him. Even, when we got some pressure on him, he still sat there and made the proper throws. He was doing a really good job of finding the little holes that we had in the defense, and it'd be 2nd and 16, and he'd go get 10 yards. Now it's 3rd and 6, and it's very manageable. So I thought their coaching staff, and I thought he in particular, I thought he did a really good job of finding those little holes in there, not trying to take the home run shots, but just really moving the ball methodically. And when you're doing that, obviously you're occupying the clock, and you're keeping our offense off the field. So I thought he had a really good game plan as far as that goes. And, we got to do a better job of matching coverages. Within those plays of when you have a receiver in your area, we got to get a guy tighter coverage on there. I mean, otherwise, this will happen. It'll continue to happen.
Wilson didn't play, so James plays. He gets his first start, but you also let a couple other DBs get some reps. How important is that, moving forward?
Absolutely, yeah. Kyle Stokes got some more reps out there. You have to be able to play these guys early in the season because, I mean, obviously when you're getting down the stretch, there's going to be guys getting dinged up, and there's going to have guys have to play, and so you don't want that to be the first time. I was proud of Daniel to go out there today and get his first start and made some plays. I thought he played really good in the Nebraska game as well. I think he maybe had 15 or 16 snaps in that game, played well. So, I think each time they get out there and they get that experience, they get a game experience, and we get to coach off the film. Obviously if you get a win like this, it's great because now you can come back, here's what you got to do better. And, those guys gain confidence, I think, the more they get out there and step on the field of play. Yeah, that. I mean, we got to create some turnovers. I mean, we've lost the turnover battle twice, and we got to do a much better job with that. I think the biggest concern is keeping offenses out of the end zone. I thought we did a pretty good job of that until that 3rd quarter, but that goes back to what I was talking about as far as matching receivers in your area. So, like, if we're zoning it up, but if a receiver runs in there, we have to match that better and not giving those free, easy access throws. I mean, that's really what it comes down to 2 weeks in a row. We all know in this league, the quarterbacks we're going to have to play, they're outstanding. And, so we got to do a much better job with that as we move forward to being able to mixing up coverages and closing the gaps in the throw game.
Time of possession, wonky again this week, 37 minutes for Bowling Green. Was it just a mix of lack of execution on 3rd down and then, like you said, Drew, just taking a lot of underneath stuff and a long drive mentality?
Yeah, I mean, I think they were just dinking and dunking and finding those little windows and holes. I mean, really, same game plan Nebraska had, really. I mean, it's very, very similar. Today they probably hit more big plays on us. They hit the touchdown pass down the sideline and, hit a fade ball. So they hit, that number 7 is a big, tall target, hit a couple throws for him. I mean, they did a better job today hitting some more explosive plays. But very similar game plan. I mean, that's about the same percentage. I mean, obviously we got to do a better job in the throw game.
Golday, seeing him come from where he was when he got here to where he is right now as a coach, is that up there with the most rewarding things you can see, a guy that just goes from all the talent in the world to becoming dominant?
Yeah, I mean, he's such a, number one, a great person, and he brings it every day. And the time he got here, how he has grown as a football player, we saw that all last year. He got better and better and better, and now this year, I mean, this is kind of the way we expected him to play. He's going to make a lot of tackles. He's going to be able to get after the quarterback. He's got really good size and speed, and I think he's one of the better players, you know, in the country at linebacker. I mean, a guy that's 6'2.5", 238 pounds can run like he can with the length because he can cover receivers, but he also can sack the quarterback. I mean, he's got a great skill set. Obviously, you need to continue to, you know, put up the numbers like that and then get more help from the other guys on that side.
A lot of flip-flopping there on the offensive line. Obviously, Xavier Lozowicki, Ethan Green get some quality snaps today. Was that just early in the season matchup, getting those guys those reps heading into this non-conference?
Yeah, I mean, and it's tough too because you don't get many snaps. And like last week, we had played 5, you know, and the game was so tight that we didn't feel like we could sub as much. We just went in there this week and said, look, we have to get guys in. You know, like we talked about on defense, you have to get guys into play. I mean, the only way to get experience is actual play. So. We wanted to do that on the O-line this week as well. And, again, it's tough when you only have the ball limited reps. But we still forced ourselves to make those. And we'll go back and coach off those reps. And because we think those guys are really good players. You know, Ethan and Lozowicki, I mean, they just got to get the reps and continue to grow.
Brendan's pretty resilient, but how key was it to get him back in that throw game? This was his best game since Texas Tech.
No, I agree. He was just poised today. And, again, we talked about all week, taking what they give us. And, you know, if it's a little short throw, take it because our guys are going to run out. I mean, I think Goody had a hitch, you know, 6-yard hitch and turned it into 20-some yards today. I mean, that's the kind of stuff because it opens up other things down the field. And I think when they presented itself, he was able to put the ball down the field like Joe Royer on the post route right there, Jeff Caldwell on the post route, you know, Cyrus Allen on the vertical route. So it presents itself, put it on there, and I thought he threw the ball really good and he was poised.
He had that play in the red zone where he kind of scrambled to the line of scrimmage and then took a pretty hard hit. Are you telling him that, hey, throw it away, get down, or is it kind of just that's who he is as a football player?
Yeah, I mean, he's, you know, when you tell him he gets in the red zone, he's aggressive. He wants to get in the end zone or first down. He's got to be smart with that. I mean, like, because we scored on a Q draw again today, and you know, I think there's a fine line there. Got to be aggressive, but at the same time, you know, get down when you get up, you know, when you have to. I think he's pretty savvy with it though, but I would like our guys to lean more being aggressive like that. I think that helps your offense. It sets a tone for the rest of the team. He's a big guy too. You know, he brings a load, and I think he's a hard guy to tackle. But that's just part of his strength as a football player that I don't think we want to take away.
Any other questions for Coach? Thank you,
All right, thanks, guys.
Cyrus, how did it feel to get that first UC touchdown?
Man, it was good. I prayed right before the game. I knew we had to come out strong from last week, so I was very excited about that.
When in that route did you know you had it won? It looked like you were pretty confident when you got to the post that you had the space to get it done.
As soon as I got off the line, immediately. Like Sorsby said, I always try to get open as fast as possible for him so I could be the first read.
How did it feel, or what was it like to see Brennan kind of have the day he had today and prove to everyone, doubting after the Nebraska game, that this can be a high-powered passing offense?
He proved it every day at practice. He had a chip on his shoulder after L we took from Nebraska, so I knew he was going to be ready. He already told us, like, be ready. He going to throw the ball.
How much different is this offense when Brendan and you and Jeff Caldwell and the rest of the receivers are clicking as far as opening the run game up?
Best in the nation.
That catch that Jeff made on the sideline, did you see that on the field, or was that like you go to the sideline and look at the iPad and you actually see?
Oh, I seen it on the field. We was running I think we were supposed to do a tempo after that. We couldn't do it because I was celebrating, me and Jeff. So I was excited. I seen it. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Are you surprised that Jeff has that athletic ability? I mean, the two catches he had there, he had the one-handed there, and then to see him extend with his athleticism for the touchdown. What are your thoughts on his big day?
Not at all. He's 6'7", so he's 6'7". He gonna go up and get it every time.
You ever seen someone stretch the ball out from the 3-yard line for a touchdown?
Nah, that was crazy.
Was there anything that you saw on film that kind of opened things up for an offense that was going up against that Bowling Green secondary that many thought to be the strength of this defense going into the game?
Like they played off, so we kind of took that as like disrespect, and they played man. We took that as disrespect this week. Like they're going to play us man, we're going to go beat them every time.
Did you guys do anything different this week as far as in practice? I know you said Brendan played practice this week with a chip on his shoulder, but did you guys do anything different knowing that you needed to pick up the pace on the
I wouldn't say anything different. I just felt like we worked harder than we did last week. So that was good to see the team work harder, and kind of like it was no like linger on the L that we took. We was like, we just ready to play again. And we knew we had a lot of days that we played, so that kind of made us mad for real. So.
First time playing in front of Nippert. Like, how was the atmosphere for you today?
Yeah, it was exciting. I ain't lying. I tried to learn the fight song today. I couldn't get all the words down. Kind of made me mad, but I'm going to learn it. But I like the atmosphere. It's fire.
Any other questions for Cyrus? Thank you, sir.
Appreciate y'all. Appreciate it.
Just on the prep work that you knew that you were gonna, follow up with a game just as impressive as the Nebraska game?
No, I just put my head down and go to work every single day. Just try to be as consistent as possible every day in practice. Like I said last week, the same thing this week. Our coaches put together a great game plan for us. I could anticipate plays before they were happening, so just being able to know what was coming before it actually happened had me in the right spots for the plays.
9 tackles in the first half. Do you feel like at some point in that half where you're like, I've been in a lot of plays so far?
Sorry to cut you off, but no, I honestly didn't even know I was at 9 until Jack Griffith was like, yeah, you have 9 tackles right now, dude. I was like, really? I was like, okay. I knew I was getting in, trying to get in on as many tackles as possible, but I had no idea I had 9 at the time.
Jake, Dante goes down, and then what was working for you to really kind of allow the defense to kind of move you around to where you have a successful day like today with 14 tackles?
Yeah, I think it just goes back to practice, next man mentality. Dante's a great player, and yeah, it definitely hurts when you don't have a guy like him in the game. But next guy up, I think our guys that replaced him did a heck of a job, and we picked up right where he left off. So I was very proud of the group.
Does this feel like something you can emulate week after week? The double-digit tackles, sacks, basically.
Oh yeah, of course. If the opportunities come my way, then I'm gonna do my best to make those plays.
The difference this year compared to last year, is it that mental acumen, the ability to kind of anticipate and process what's happening in front of you from the offense and make those plays and get there a half second quicker?
I think just being comfortable in the defense. You can just tell when I'm out there, the whole game is just slowing down for me. I'm able to read faster, read my keys faster, and make more plays. And then with the practice that Coach Braz, my position coach, has been like teaching me every single day, is just anticipating plays, know what's coming, read the backfield sets. All that has helped tremendously.
Is there any key that you guys can kind of lock into to maybe close in on some of these shorter underneath passes a little faster to prevent these longer drives from offenses that have happened the first couple weeks?
Yeah, for sure. I think we tried to make some adjustments in the second half to limit that, but that's definitely always. I mean, a lot of our drop schemes, if we're allowing a 5-yard sit down route and we don't let it turn up, it's a win for the defense. But there's definitely some defenses where we're going to try to prevent those.
This early success, does this mean that the State Highway Patrol mustache stays?
Yeah, whether you like it or not, it's going to stay. I had 2 pretty good performances back-to-back, and I had the stash, so we're going to ride it out for a little while.
Fear of the stash?
Yes, sir.
Are you lobbying to go get after the quarterback since you're doing such a great job when they do send you?
Yes, sir. Yeah, of course. Every time they give me the opportunity, I'm trying to get them down. I missed one in the first half that really got me, so I knew when I had the next opportunity, I had to go get them down.
We asked Coach Satterfield about your performance today. He called you one of the best linebackers in the country. Do you believe, like yourself as a player, that you are one of the best linebackers, not only in this conference, but the country as well?
Man, I don't really look into all that. I don't really try to compare myself to everybody else. I'm just trying to do as best as I can every single day. That's really all I'm worried about.
Cool. Any other questions for Jake? Thank you, sir.
Appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good one.
Touchdowns today. Questions for Brendan?
Probably a little frustrated after last week. Cyrus said you told him this week you're going to be throwing it all over the place. Were you pretty set on getting the passing game on track coming into this game?
Yeah, it was nice to be able to throw a forward pass this week. It was probably a little bit more exciting for the fans too. No, I was obviously, the goal coming into the week was, we gotta get our passing game going. We have the weapons. I believe in myself, so really at the end of the day, it was just about executing, and I think we did a good job of that today.
Any concern about the running game now? Because the passing game looks great. The running game was a little slow today.
Yeah, hopefully we can figure them both out at the same time and we don't just keep going back and forth. But no concern in the run game. Obviously we threw it really well today, and that was working for us. They did a really good job up front, just shedding blocks and stuff, getting off and making tackles, and at least making contact in the backfield, making it tough on us to run the ball effectively. But at the end of the day, we figured out a way to put points on the board.
Jeff had the one-handed catch. How does that feel to kind of know that you don't have to make a perfect throw or have wide open space, that you can kind of throw it up and they'll make 50-50 catches?
Yeah, obviously as a quarterback, you want to be able to just give your guys a chance and they go make plays for you, and our guys did a really good job of that today. Jeff did an unbelievable job at catching that one. I don't know how he did it, but I don't ask too many questions. Like I say, you made the catch. I usually just leave it at that. I tell you, good job, and obviously that catch was unbelievable. But, just move on. But it was an unbelievable grab by him for sure.
Is there anything Cyrus Allen's done in particular to kind of earn the most targets and kind of action in the passing attack through 2 weeks?
He just, comes to work every day, just like the rest of the guys. But, he's very, very specific on what he does and, pays a lot of attention to his craft and works on it every day. So props to him. He's just finding the most targets right now. He's creating the most space. And he's just doing a really good job. So, all of our guys did a really good job today of, getting open and going and attacking the ball. He's been really good, though, coming to work every day.
52 yards a catch for Royer. Was he in your ear to get it to him a little bit more?
No, at halftime, he was like, I just want 100, Sorsby. And I was like, 2 for 104 is not bad, dude. So we'll just cut you off there, No, we got to keep finding ways to get him the ball. The play that he had the long completion on, we hadn't really repped that exactly throughout the week. It was kind of just a playing ball moment, and he did a good job of finding his way. And I was like, well, whatever he does, the ball's going to him. So he just did a good job of getting open and finding a way.
You find it crazy on that one play that the 73 yards was more than what you threw against Nebraska. I mean, it's a strange game.
Yeah, thanks, Scott, for bringing that up. Yeah.
Well, that's a good throw.
Yeah.
I would take credit for the throw, right?
Yeah, no, it was definitely, you know, you love to have those big chunk plays. Obviously, they're good for the stat sheet, but it's just good to, especially for when you're backed up, it's fun to, you know, flip the field completely. So, yeah, that was a fun play. And, yeah, I did have, I guess, more yards on that one play than I did all last game. So, there we go.
Brendan, you told us earlier in fall camp that Cyrus was a guy who liked to talk and say, hey, get me the ball. Was there any conversation after he scored the first one? And moments ago, he told us he knew he was scoring on that play right when he got off the line of scrimmage. Was there conversations with Cyrus saying, feed me today?
I'm so surprised that he doesn't do it more, because whenever we were in fall camp, it was just, you know, over the top. Especially whenever we were recruiting him, it was like, Sorsby would throw me the ball a ton. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do it. Well, over, you know, obviously fall camp and stuff, I was like talking about him being a diva. And, you know, the one guy that's going to get on to me all the time. But, yeah, he just did a really good job on that play. You know, same thing. We were thinking Goody on that play, and he just ended up popping open down the sideline, and then obviously his second touchdown. But during the games, he's really not in my ear as much. I mean, obviously, you know, last week, whenever we have 70 yards passing, he's a little bit more angry, but we all were. So it was good to bounce back this week, and, you know, everybody was touching the ball, everybody was eating.
Another big day for Jake Golday today defensively. As an offensive guy, what's been your vantage point on how he's played these first 2 weeks?
He's getting us the ball back, that's for sure. He's making a ton of plays. You know, y'all just asked him if he thought he was one of the best linebackers in the country. I think he's one of the best, since he won't say it for himself. Obviously, he's taken over the quarterback talk, like I just said, since, you know, I try to get away from that now. Stipe's always getting on to me about the quarterback talk. But, no, Golday's an unbelievable player, and, you know, I truly do think he's one of the best in the country.
Ethan Green and Xavier Lozowicki see some significant snaps today. How do you think the kids did today?
They did an unbelievable job. Obviously, like we talked about, like the run game obviously has to be better. We got to be able to run the ball more effectively. But as far as the pass game goes, the protection was really good. No sacks again. That's a huge deal. So, you know, props to those guys up front. And, you know, they filled in and did an unbelievable job.
Brendan, you spoke about the catch from Jeff Caldwell. When you guys rewatched that back on the sideline, what was your initial reaction after you saw that back on the iPad?
It was the same reaction I had on the field, like, did he really just catch that? And then whenever I got to the sideline after we had scored, I was still in shock that he had got it. So, yeah, like I said, an unbelievable catch by him, and really, really good game by him overall.
Brendan, how do you assess the performance and the film takeaways from Nebraska versus how much weight you're going to put into this week's performance and next week's performance, obviously with a different level of competition across all three?
Yeah. You got to attack each week with the same mindset. You know, we got to be able to run the ball, and we got to be able to throw the ball. Obviously, you're going to get stopped. You're going to have 3 and outs. You're going to have bad plays, but we got to find a way to be more consistent just as a whole, as an offense in general. And, you know, that's what throughout the week is for. That's what coming to practice with the same mindset every day is for, because at the end of the day, we have a standard, and we got to live up to that. We didn't do that against Nebraska. We didn't finish drives like we should have today. We didn't keep drives going like we should have today, but you know, we just got to build off the good, flush the bad, and, you know, find ways to improve weekly, because obviously once we get to conference play, there's not much room for error.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Appreciate y'all.